Hi guys, this is Ryan, and I have another update for you guys. We are going to take a look at the rares from the Superman and Wonder Woman set. So let's get going. I'm doing a little new setup here with the webcam, make it a little bit more personable. Let's get started. I haven't been on the camera in a while, so let's do this. All right, so we have Wonder Woman at number 33, Mystics, 200 points, no range. And let's get started. We also have the outnumbered token power as well. The odds are against me. We've covered these before, so I'm not going to cover it again. You can see it here, so you can take a look and read that. Also, another trait, Wonder Woman can't be targeted by opposing outwit or probability unless the target character is higher points and a deity. Okay, so that's good. She's 200 points, so it's probably going to be in effect. All right, starts off with Charge, Flurry, and Sidestep. Never a bad thing. She's a flyer and Dom. Okay, let's see. We have a special attack near the end of her dial. At the end of your opponent's turn, deal 1 penetrating damage to each character on that player's force within 2 squares of Wonder Woman that did not make an attack this turn. Okay, so this is actually a power that we've seen probably a couple years back with the Ares. The Ares, basically, if you were able to attack and you didn't attack him, you took damage. Something similar to that. And so this is very similar here. This is the end of the dial. If you look at the dial here, though, I mean, Charge, Flurry with a 12 attack, 4 damage, super strength, she's going to be able to put some hurt on a lot of people. And she's got pretty good defense abilities and stats. She's very offensive for 200 points. She's just in your face, just beating you up. Yeah, she's pretty good. It's kind of expensive for a brick, but as 200-point bricks go, I mean, it's pretty good. Okay, we have Dr. Fate here. Mystics, 8 range, 2 targets, 110 points. And we have, let's see, we started off with special damage with probability. Give Dr. Fate a power action, modify the attack values of all friendly characters by 1 this turn. Okay, that's pretty good. He's 110 points to be kind of given like prob and then power actions to give everyone +1 attack. I mean, 110 points, not so good for that, but what you're getting here is not too bad. Let's take a look here at the dial, kind of a carrier, phaser in the beginning, just kind of a support piece. Okay, and then after the first click, then it gets into the run and shot psychic blast. And then you could do something there because he does have prob. So click 2 and 3 and even 4 are pretty offensive. And then it kind of falls off a little bit harder towards the end. At the end, though, he does have energy shield deflection, regeneration, and super senses. So I mean, he's kind of a well-rounded piece. However, he doesn't really have a lot of damage reducers. So if you're able to hit him, he's gonna go down pretty quick and only take a couple feedback damage. So we'll see. Not too in love with this figure. All right, Green Lantern, 8 range, single target, 180. We have a pretty solid run and gun character here. Let's take a look at the trait. First time each game that Green Lantern would be KO'd, instead turn him to click 5. Then for the rest of the game, when Green Lantern clears action tokens, you may heal him 1 click. This ability can't be ignored. Okay, so that's good. Click 5 is the 8 phase-in, 10 pulse wave, 17 toughness, and 3 damage range combat expert. Okay stat. I mean, it's like okay click. It's in the middle. I would say okay. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. If you're not near anyone, you can hit them with range combat expert. If you're near people, you can pulse wave. You have the phasing to get out. Defensively, not good. But it is what it is. You do have to realize once this character is KO'd, it comes back to life. So there's a lot of cool things that can be done with that. For the points, yeah, there's something there to be said. However, 180, that first click is good offensively, but defensively, 17 is not going to hold up very well. So there's ways to go about that, though. There's ways to boost that up, but for 180 points, you want to see a little bit more there on that top dial. However, he takes a lot to KO. Hermes, 140 zero range. We do have hypersonic, solid attack, not overly great. Good defense with invincible and 3 damage. Prob, not bad. Okay, he's got the divine aura. This basically says you can't be targeted of outwit prob from opposing characters if they're higher points or has a DT. So this is a common power. This is a lot of the big name guys in this set have this. So that's good. 140. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of the small guys aren't going to be able to touch you, but there's quite a bit of people that are over that. However, do they have those powers? We don't know. At the beginning of the game, you may place 2 Snakebite Tainter tokens as described in the card. Give Hermes a power action. If there are no friendly snakes on the map, you may place them adjacent to you may place them adjacent to 2 Snakebite Tainter tokens. Anyways, here, basically what these things do, they give you support. And they do have, let's see, they do have a precision strike. However, I'm not, with a 9 attack, 1 damage, like if you can do it, great. However, I would more or less make it so that he's giving you support. He can go out there, take a beating because he's got the invincible. Go out there, run, hit somebody, come back. And then you could probably go out there and you're probably going to not be able to get too far away from your opponent because you have no range. They're probably going to hit you again. They're going to probably hit you. Hopefully you're still on hypersonic. If not, you're probably not going to be KO'd unless they outwit you. They just go right through you. However, you do have that ability to kind of slow them down if they're lower points. But if you can survive, you can run back and try to get healed up. And his defense, it will be kind of difficult because you're probably going to be on a 17 defense on a 9. So you'll need an 8 to heal him back up. However, there's 2 of them. So you have 2 chances to heal yourself back up. So that's pretty interesting. I like that. Firstborn. Now here we have a real bruiser right here. 200 points, 0 range. So he's right up in your kitchen here. He's got the divine aura, 200 points. So it will be in effect. All characters within 3 squares use Battle Fury. Okay, we're bringing that back. I like it. Friendly characters adjacent to Firstborn modify their attack by +1. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, he's got good stats. If you're playing a big game, okay, but if you're playing a 300-point game, you only have 100 points to go with them. So you may only have 1 guy, maybe 2, doubt it. But, those other characters would be small, so that +1 to attack would not be terrible. And in this situation, if they're attacking your side pieces instead of your main guy is going to rip them apart. So if your side guys can stay alive a little bit longer because, they have a better chance of hitting. So there's a little ups and downs with there. And the Battle Fury is incredible. Makes them have to punch him, Let's see here. He starts off with super strength, and when he uses Quake, he has a locked damage value of 3. That is pretty good. He's got super strength and 4 damage exploit. So if it's a single attack, you could really wreck someone. Like just go out and just destroy them. You can get up to 7 damage exploit weakness with a 12 attack. Yes, that's probably pretty good. Oh, and you're a giant too, so you can reach from 2 squares away. Yeah, that's pretty solid. But if he's clustered up, Quake normally, 2 damage. I'm not like dying to do that. But if this Quake is 3 damage, now I might want to do it on everyone because now I know at least people with impervious and invulnerability are going to at least take a click of damage. So, but you have exploit weakness. So depending on who it is and depending on how many people you can hurt, the Quake could be a good thing or maybe not. But if you're going to do it, 3 damage is better than 2. Dr. Cyber, we got 95 points, 5 range, single target. All right, let's take a look here. We got Sidestepper, Psychic Blast, 17 invulnerability. Nothing insane just yet. Click 2. It takes. He basically trades Sidestep for Run and Shot, which is pretty good. I would say better. But sidestep's a great power since you can move without actually having to give an action, so it's good. But the cool thing about this is you gain perplex and probability. Okay, we got that power again. Now on a character that has running shot, psychic blast, and invulnerability. Okay, that is interesting. So he's good secondary attacker. Maybe you could turn him into a solid main attacker with, you know, resources and entities and stuff. But then he's got really good support powers with perplex and probability, which is pretty good. And then at the end of the dial, he's got regeneration. Never a bad thing for a character like this, because you can get him back in the action. When he does and heals at least one click after your action resolved, he may use mind control as a free action. Oh, goodness. That's pretty cool. I can see this guy being a lot of fun to play. If you get a good heal off, you might be able to get on your 10 or your 9. Well, 9 ain't going to really help. But if you can land on one of your 10s with that mind control, would be pretty nice. Also, you'd be popping up onto probability control, which you would then be able to use on that mind control attack. Not the perplex, since you basically have to do the mind control right after that regeneration, so you'll only be able to use that prob, but it's still good. Unless you were on your last click and you did 1 and you're still on that power. But Dr. Psycho, let's take a look at him. Improved targeting, ignores hindering, and ignores characters. All right. We got a special movement. Dr. Psycho can use mind control and stealth. Okay, I like that combination, especially paired up with Psychic Blast and Mastermind. That's good. When he uses mind control, he isn't dealt unavoidable damage from it, so he doesn't take any damage for that. And after your action resolve, he may use Outwit, targeting at least at each opposing character with the mind control. So that's really good. He also has Perplex, but only to decrease combat values. So you're going to be targeting your opponent with that. If he does and targets an opposing character of 100 or more points, he may modify the combat values except damage by -2. So if he targets a character over 100 points, he can put their defense by -2. This is good. He's got 7 range, 2 targets. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a fun character. Short dial, but with stealth. I mean, stealth, Psychic Blast, and then the Perplex with the mic. Oh man, there's just so much going on here. I like this figure a lot. Kind of expensive to be considered meta. However, there's going to be some fun to be had there. And a mind control team there could be something you could do something with him. Silver Swan, 85 points, 6 range, 1 target. Comes out of the gate, running shot, Psychic Blast, toughness. We kind of see this. And these are standard, very basic stats. But when you compare them with a lot of the figures in this set, 10, 10, 17, 3 is normally just kind of blah. But if a bunch of characters have it, then it's going to be, it's going to be more the standard, which I think that's what they want to go with. They want to go with kind of scaling back because it was getting out of hand there for a while. So when you do have an 18 defense and you do have an 11 or a 12 attack, it's going to mean more because not everyone has those stats. So I think we're going to see 10, 10, 17, 3 as like the base. Like that's going to be the base. If you're above those stats, for a while there, there was a bunch of characters with 18s and 11s attacks, and like the points were just like really like everyone has these good stats now. Kind of scaling it back here. Late dial, super strength, not bad. Let's see. Oh no, super strength throughout the dial. Late dial, pulse wave. When she does, her damage becomes 2 and is locked. Okay. There's some perplex there too, so you perplex up that attack either to the 11 or to a 12. Pulse wave 2 damage. After you actually destroy all objects and walls within 3 squares. Yes, which is her range is actually 6, so it'd be 3 with the pulse wave. She's a good secondary attacker. She actually is a pretty good secondary attacker. Her defense is not good, So you probably will end up on the late dial, and hopefully when you're in the late dial, you can use those powers accordingly. Or if not, I mean, she's 85 points. That could go down and just go down pretty quickly. Enhancement, not bad. Support-wise, not top dial, and perplex late dial. But there's something to be said about this piece for the points, but it's still not... You can't count on her to work the way you want her to. Okay, let's see. Wait, that's not Superman. For Superman Blue, that's the power where you can switch it out with another... you can switch the Superman Blue out if you're playing a Superman or Superboy. Obviously, points accordingly. So this one's is a cheap character. So if you're playing a cheaper Superman or Superboy, you could do that. Starting out here, we have a trait for Force Blast. Adjacent friendly characters ignore Pulse Wave. That's pretty good. That's really good. And that's still in effect if you play them at 50 points. And that 50-point dial is 11, 10, 18, 2 targets, energy explosion, 11 run shot, 18 ESD, and 2 damage. Empower, which that one's kind of disappointing for sure, because you can't even crack invulnerability. So that's kind of disappointing. But overall, this is a pretty good, solid character. And, you know, starts off with a pretty good running shot, 11, 18 invincible. And then once you take some damage, you get perplexed to be a more support character. I think if you're going to play this guy, you're going to probably want to play him at 50 points, because for 50 points, he brings quite a bit of stuff. Adjacent characters can ignore Pulse Wave. That in itself, it could be worth 50 points. Also, the Empower doesn't hurt. And, you know, if you're attacking characters with no damage reducers, he can still do some damage with the 2 damage. Also, if you do play him at 50 points, I would recommend finding a way to try to make sure you at least can get to do 3 damage with an Empower, or with an enhancement, or bring some outwit and all that other good stuff.